love the commercials and know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
I'm Zoe Williams, the voice of reason. If your relationship is in trouble, I'm the dude to call. Has your soulmate become your cellmate? Does black love still exist? What are your bedroom turnoffs? Fantasies and fetishes. Financial infidelity. I'm dating a fat person. Are they worth the wait? Trust me, this gonna be crazy.
How about the heavy stuff?
The child wasn't his, and he still had to pay child support.
It's a very heated topic.
How was that right?
Mama's baby, daddy's maybe.
I just have so many questions I want to ask you.
I just like to kiss. Is there something wrong with that?
Damn.
He told me he had a vasectomy. I'm pregnant.
Betrayal has been committed.
Hit you with the bad pipes routine.
How does he maintain his humposity?
He likes it when it pinches my neck.
Why can't you open up, brother?
I'm a karate man. Karate man rules on the inside. They don't show their weaknesses.
Yeah.
How do you write women so well?
Zoe Williams,
Reason and accountability.
the voice of reason.
First and foremost, I think it's really important to recognize that, like, similar to the dismissive avoidant, the stage that a fearful avoidant is in of a relationship, it does affect how they experience rejection. So, for example, fearful avoidants are pretty good at meeting a good part of their own needs. In a lot of ways, fearful avoidants don't meet their needs in the healthiest way possible. So, for example, they may need to feel peace of mind, and they may meet the need for peace of mind through escapism, through just watching television or avoiding their feelings or going on social media or whatever, or sometimes more destructive habits, right? But they do feel that they can soothe through themselves in some form the vast majority of the time. That doesn't mean they don't have the anxious side. It just means that they can feel the anxious side and eventually over time return to their more avoidant side and self-soothe through different activities or distractions. And so here's the interesting part. So what that basically means is rejection has the capacity to hurt slightly less than somebody who doesn't have the capacity to soothe on their own, right? Because then if somebody outside of you rejects you, it's very, very scary because you have nowhere to soothe, you have nowhere to connect to feel okay. So there's a bigger sort of threat that comes in the early stage of a relationship if you don't have some kind of capacity to regulate on your own in whatever form that might be. So from there, what this means is in the earlier phases, in the dating phase, if somebody's just in the honeymoon phase, if you're just getting to know a new friend, if there's a family member, whatever it might be, whoever makes you feel rejected or whoever rejects you in a situation in some form, you might be okay if you're fearful avoidant. You might hurt for a little bit, but then you can go into that sort of closed down mode. The interesting thing is later on in a relationship, rejection can be something more detrimental. As a fearful avoidant. The reason is fearful avoidants have a tremendously powerful set of needs for depth of connection, for transparency, and for basically just emotional connection, which sort of goes hand in hand with depth of connection. The reason fearful avoidants go after these big needs a lot of the time, and there are many other ones too that fearful avoidants have, but these are just three primary ones that do tend to attract fearful avoidants, reel them in, keep them there, so the reason for this is that because if you're a child and you grow up in this home that's super unpredictable and you always have to be hypervigilant and read between the lines, if somebody's really attuned to you, if somebody is really sharing with you and bonding with you, and if they're open and transparent, it makes you feel safe. Because fearful avoidants don't have an attachment strategy. DAs learn to just self-soothe. Anxious preoccupied learn to soothe through others. Fearful avoidants can't really predict. They're one day I can soothe through my caregivers. Other days they're unpredictable. They're angry. They're fighting. They're drinking. They're drugging, whatever it might be. So fearful avoidants just go into this hypervigilant mode. Transparency, openness, a lot of emotional bonding makes them feel okay, I can predict the situation better. So with that, you have these three big behavioral drivers for the fearful avoidant. And then what can take place is the fearful avoidant can get in.
Man, Sister Thais Gibson be cooking. She be cooking that pho. Fa. The VOR's on Complete Fire tonight, live from KBLA. You know what I'm saying? You already know what it is, 1580, man. We are aggressive over here. Man, you see the type of conversations I have about relationships? Most people are not talking like this. Most people ain't talking about relationships like this. Come on. We're having a very, very powerful conversation, right? And this conversation is talking about how rejection is a good thing. In the sense of, can a partner reject the other from a sense of soul envy? A sense of soul envy. That person is more healed than me, and being around them irritates me. I know they won't feed my wound's insatiable appetite. So I will break up with them. Because I know to be with them, I have to elevate spiritually, psycho-spiritually, right? Behaviorally. I have to change my mindset. I have to change deep-rooted patterns that have brought me safety in my uncertainty. Rejection is not personal, it's perceptual. Attraction is not truth, it's familiarity. Chemistry is not destiny, it's circuitry. Love is not drama, it is divine reflection. In sum, when you say, I don't want them, it may not be you talking. It may be your wound. The wound might be rejecting its exorcist. Ooh-wee. When you say they're not on my level, it may be the ego resisting evolution. And when someone's love feels too much, it may be your nervous system whispering, we've never been this safe before. And that terrifies me. To evolve past this fear, one must become emotionally fluent, spiritually receptive, and psychologically sovereign. Do you break up with your answer? Do you break up with your question because you refuse to utter the answer that has always lived within you? John, Mountain View, Hawaii, get back in here. Finish your thoughts, brother.
Finishing thoughts. Wow. Okay. Let's go to my divorce, which basically is what you basically just stated, because it's virtually my testimony.
Talk to us, brother. It's safe here. Go ahead, brother. Speak how you want.
The woman of 20 years who made a whole lot of decisions on her own to do as she will with me, a 20-year veteran of the military service that is supposed to have given his life for his country as well as his family. But in my service to the Lord, this country, and my family, I lost it. How? In most cases, women say a boring relationship is something that loses its spark. But what spark do you need when you're the spark of chaos that has brought in everything? And it's necessary because we have to have it for the growth to take place. In your choice of divorcing me, which happened to be, quote unquote, as she stated to me, competition, in most cases, the divorce goes very ugly. Half is received, but half is not worked for. What happens when the human being divorces you because it's a release? What happens when the human being seeks her own counseling and comes back to apologize? What happens when you actually really now understand even the reason for the divorce? But again, another quote and I'm getting out of here.
No. What, in your estimation, from your perception, was the reason for the divorce for you?
Well, the divorce for me, I'm the human being who stood. I'm the one that never got off his square. I'm the one who wasn't to blame for the cause of previous cats. I was the man who stood firm, lovingly, guiding, and being a blessing as I tried as much as I possibly could with failures, because I'm human. But at the same time, this human being who is now on their journey, who is now working on their intimate relationships, the one who needed the father that she missed but ended up being the father to her inner child. And you said a song recently, Be a Father to Your Child. What about you fathering your inner child?
Come on. Before you can have an intimate relationship, you must have an intrapersonal relationship that is intimate. The relationship
and that's
with
where,
self. Yes, yes.
And that is the beginning of the interrelationship you have with one another. But again, my phrase, I'm closing. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not scared of you.
Hey, John.
But let me close on this. I'm not concerned about your booze because I've understood your celebrations. Now get out my face.
Come on, man. Guess what you just did, brother? Guess what you just
Mountain
did?
View's in the house. Blessings to all. Condolences and blessings to the Warner family.
Yes, 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 man. Come on. He just brought Hawaii, Mountain View, Hawaii in the building. If you want to bring your city in the building and join this most incredible conversation, now's the time to do it. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. But do you see the depth of what I'm trying to bring to you here today? I'm always giving this example of how relationships are inverted, right? We are looking for fragmented pattern matches, broken pattern matches. If somebody matches our broken pattern, we merge with them and we think, okay, this is going to work. A broken pattern match is simply what Patrick Carnes talked about when he talked about trauma bonding, right? Again, it's the same work that Ross Rosenberg alludes to in his Human Magnet Syndrome book. These broken patterns are set up for reenactment in relationship. The relationship that has the greatest propensity for healing is the relationship with two people that are willing to go back inside and reestablish a new relationship with their wounds, one where they're in control, where the wound is not dictating who you date, right? So first, I establish a relationship with my wounds by looking at them, observing them lovingly, without judgment, empathetically. And I start to dismantle the psychological and ideological scaffolding I've built up around them, around the wounds, by saying, A, I am not what happened to me. I'm not responsible for what happened to me, and I am no longer identifying as victim of what happened to me. I love me still, in spite of what happened to me. This is what Ross Rosenberg talks about in the Human Magnet Syndrome when he says, he says, observe, don't absorb. Right? Many people struggle with that. Right? It happened to me, so I am what happened. No. So once you start curating a more powerful, a more loving, a more empathetic, a less judgmental relationship with self regarding what self has gone through. And again, guess what? Take your butt to therapy. Dr. Shalonda Crawford, Dr. Jashana Johnson, Dr. P. McCall Robinson. I got a lot of doctor friends that are sisters that's going to walk with you spiritually and psychologically. They'll help you get on track or back on track with the relationship with self. Otherwise, you can discard 1,000 people, but all your relationships will be reenactments. Do you see? Do you see? When you say they're not on my level, it may be the ego resisting evolution. And when someone's love feels like it's too much, it may be your nervous system whispering, we've never been this safe before. And that terrifies me. Love can terrify the wounded soul every single time, because the wounded soul is dominated by ego, identity, and fear. In my relationship dismount book, I called that FEGO, fear and ego. To evolve beyond this fear, one must become emotionally fluent, spiritually receptive, and psychologically sovereign, meaning me, the healed me, the me that loves on me, the me that loves me through and through. Not egoically, not narcissistically, but purely, without judgment, without criticism, without condemnation. I accept me. That person is psychologically free. The past no longer dictates how I move in and out of relationships. If you're a manipulator, it's because you're in survival mode. You're in survival mode because you didn't get what you were supposed to get from your primary caregivers. So now you manipulate in relationship as a natural means to extrapolate what you didn't get in childhood. But tonight's inquiry, then, is not about finding the one. It's about becoming the one who no longer finds healing unbearable. You too much for me. Why does it feel like you're a therapist? Am I supposed to pay you after this is over? Am I supposed to come over here and lay on your? I don't want to talk to the therapist though no more. I want to talk to Babe. Where Babe at? That literally happened to me. Somebody literally said, "Okay, no more therapist though." I'm not a therapist. I'm not a therapist, ma'am. No. The spiritual deep stuff is too much. I want. Let me talk to Babe again. That literally happened to me. And then, have you ever been aimed at somebody? I don't want you to talk to me. I want you to talk to my friend, though, so I can say, see, he dope, huh? But then when I put that same lens on you, no. I want to talk to Babe. When we come forward, the voice of reason gonna keep this fire lit.
Relationships. Got you confused? Need some straight talk? This is where you get the unfiltered truth about love, relationships, and everything in between. He breaks down relationship dynamics with no-nonsense wisdom and practical advice that actually works. tackling the questions you're afraid to ask, and giving you the answers you need to hear. You're inside the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah. At KBLA Talk 1580, we're proud to be celebrating 4 years on the air, but we know we could not have made it this far without you. We work hard every single day to curate conversations that will enlighten, encourage, and empower you. So, from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580, a big thank you for your love and support.
You don't know how much you mean to me.
And by the way, if your smartphone did not update automatically, be sure to download our brand new KBLA 1580 app. We think you'll love all the new features, including new ways to send us photos and video in real time, whenever news breaks, while we're on the air. It's a new dawn, a new day for KBLA Talk 1580, and we're glad you're on this journey with us.
You never turned away, you were right there. Thank you.
Hey, listen to this. All I needed was a new starter. Got a great deal on eBay. Did it myself.
Yeah, that's cool. But how about the soft purr of an upgraded exhaust when it fits just right?
For me, it's the little things. Like these new windshield wipers from eBay I installed.
From small fixes to big upgrades, eBay has all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. eBay. Things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Hello, I'm Joe Cordell, founder of Cordell & Cordell. Divorce is complicated, especially when your small business or professional practice is involved. At Cordell & Cordell, we understand that these assets raise unique valuation and allocation issues. For 35 years, we've helped doctors, lawyers, and small business owners navigate divorce with confidence. Call us at Cordell & Cordell. Let me tell you, I understand on a personal level, your business is much more than a job. It's your legacy.
1455 Frazee, San Diego. CordellCordell.com.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Worried about eviction? You have rights, and Stay Housed LA can help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between LA County, the City of Los Angeles, and local service providers. From Lancaster to Long Beach, we're here to help you with tenant education workshops, legal clinics, free legal services for eligible tenants, and online resources about tenant protection laws. Don't face eviction alone. Call our hotline at 1-888-694-0040. That's 1-888-694-0040. Or visit stayhousedla.org. Stay Housed LA, keeping Los Angeles residents in their homes. Stay Housed LA, your rights, your home, our community. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
That is a very sensitive subject.
From the first time the doctor placed you in my arms, I knew I'd meet death before I let you meet harm. Although questions arose in my mind, would I be man enough against wrong? Choose right and be standing up. From the hospital that first night, took an hour just to get the car seat in right. People driving off fast got me kinda upset. Got you home safe, placed you in your bassinet. That night I don't think one wink I slept. As I slipped out my bed to your crib I crept. Touched your head gently, felt my heart melt, cause I knew I loved you more than life itself. Into my knees, and I begged the Lord, please let me be a good daddy. All he needs, love, knowledge, discipline too.
Wait, hold on. Yeah, that's one of my favorite Will Smith records. And if you haven't noticed the theme tonight, and I know we're going to play this clip as well, but if you haven't noticed the theme is hip-hop music, but it's talking about family. Right? Jay-Z, Family Matters, Just the Two of Us. We're playing these records because these are the foundational patterns where they're created. The foundational patterns are created by our primary caregivers. And if they're fractured in any way, we take those into our adult relationships. And anybody that is unhealed is actually in a reenactment of what happened. It's really crazy to look at it that way. That's our topic tonight. And you know what, Andy? Do me this favor. This is one of my favorites, too. Can you find Exhibit Foundation? That's another record where you have a black man talking about being a father for the first time. Will Smith, an amazing record, Just the Two of Us. I think that's Bill Withers, right? Just the Two of Us. Will freaked it and made it a hit record after his son Jaden, right, was born. But this is Exhibit. Check out Exhibit.
When I look you in your eyes, I can see my own. Straight love manifested in flesh and bone. Using breath of fresh air in this world. You was born to be a soldier, don't ever forget. Hit back when hit. Use force that's effective. All these and women, son, please be selective. This is California, can't stick your in everything. We will survive necessarily by any means. Let no man ever hold you down or suppress you. It's the 90s, the police just arrest you. Disrespect you. On occasion, take life.
I talk about one of the gifts of rejection is that if you let it will anchor your identity. What do I mean? If you think about it, people's opinions change like the current of the sea, right? Like people have certain style preferences. They want you to look a certain way. Like they just change constantly. And so if you subject your identity to the approval of people, you will literally be shifting like the current of the sea. But there comes a point where you realize you can do everything someone has asked you to do, and they will still reject you. You can change your hair. You can quit your job, right? You can get a certain degree. You can do all of that, and they can still reject you. And so once you get to the place where you understand that, it'll start to anchor your identity. Because it's like, no, I'm not going to be whatever you want me to be, because there comes a point where I can change myself so much that I lose myself trying to keep someone who doesn't care about losing me, right? So you get to a place where it's like, okay, no, this is who I am. This is who I am. That's one of the gifts, is you say, this is who I am. And if you walk away from who I am, that's okay. But you will not walk away from who I'm not. I'm not willing to put energy into being someone that I'm not. That's one of the gifts.
Oh, God, I love that. But how do you do it, let's say, in a career circumstance? Because there's real life consequences to not having a job.
Yeah.
And so in those situations where, I'd love for you to tell the story of your speaking gigs where, you go out and you start to speak and you're nervous and tense, but then the rug gets pulled out.
Oh, yeah. So some years ago, I worked for a large global company, and I wasn't hired as a spokesperson, but they found out that I could speak. And so the communications team was like, hey, will you do some conferences and events for the company? And I was like, sure, I was happy to help. And so my manager at the time supported it. She was like, hey, have fun.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with BIN News Now. Black New York City Mayor Eric Adams is pushing back after Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem blamed sanctuary cities for a recent shooting by an undocumented immigrant.
Let everyone know that I have nothing to do with the rules that are put in place.
Adams defended his record and pointed to former Governor Andrew Cuomo's bail reform laws as part of the issue. Black Atlanta rapper Cash Out, born John Gibson, has been sentenced to life in prison plus 70 years after being convicted in a RICO and rape case involving forced sex work. And President Trump is taking aim at former President Obama on Truth Social, sharing an AI-generated video of Obama being arrested in the Oval Office. The post followed claims by the Director of National Intelligence that Obama officials faked intel on Russian interference in 2016, claims Democrats say are politically driven. Get BIN News Now on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
were collectors.
Trading cards, comics.
But the leftover paint in the garage was
clutter. So we took it to a paint care drop-off site for recycling.
Helping the planet.
And making room for more collections.
Learn more at paintcare.org.
Yeah, yo, come on. Here come the drums.
At KBLA Talk 1580, we fight the power every day.
Yeah, gotta give us what we want. Gotta give us what we need. Hey.
I listen to KBLA and I love the commercials. I know what the commercials mean. I also, if I'm looking and trying to figure something out, I need something to talk to me that might hit me. And it happens on TV because, you know, every time they show a sporting event, they got the pharmaceutical companies back to back to back telling people how to fix the sickness on the same stuff that they sell them. So we get it.
Yep, we get it too, Chuck D. And that's why at KBLA Talk 1580, we don't black down.
Drop it! Our freedom of speech is freedom of death. We got to fight the powers that be. Fight the power! Fight the power!
Yo, it's Zoe Williams, the VOR, and I know you're tired of pretty gems with pretty lies, where people seem to scroll more than they sweat. Well, it's time to level up. Welcome to Huff and Puff, where excuses die and champions rise. Smack dab at 1221 North La Brea on the corner of Fairview. This ain't a photo shoot, it's a battleground. Certified achievers in the game. Trainers who grind with you, not post pictures beside you. Whether you're chasing your next personal record or just trying to outrun your past, this is your sanctuary of sweat. No mirrors, no filters, no fluff, just pain, passion, and purpose. Stop talking, start training, huff hard, puff loud, be legendary. Where folks go to war with their weaknesses. Huff and Puff.
It's never too early to start talking about money in realistic ways with your kids. JP Morgan Chase navigates how to educate your kids now about creating long-lasting, healthy money habits. Whether your kids are in elementary school, high school, or college, now is a great time to start a conversation about ways to create healthy money habits as they grow, ultimately benefiting their financial future. Talking about money in a realistic way to support your kids' lifestyle and dreams, your first banking account geared towards high school or college. It's never too early. Explaining the basics, what you earn and what you spend, building financial confidence starts with getting organized. Learning and practicing vital money skills now will stay with them for life. Tools they will have to stay on top of their finances and achieve their goals. This segment is sponsored by JP Morgan Chase.
KBLA Talk 1580.
We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. The Los Angeles Regional Food Bank is on a mission to fight hunger and provide nutritious food to those in need across our community. They partner with federal, state, and local programs advocating for better policies and funding for critical hunger relief programs like Cal Fresh, the Emergency Food Assistance Program, and the Child and Adult Care Food Program. The food bank works with coalitions and local representatives to make sure hunger is addressed in every district of LA County. They also run nutrition education campaigns, raise hunger awareness, and source nutritious food for distribution, all while supporting regulations that allow food pantries to operate safely. Want to help? Visit lafoodbank.org or call 323-234-3030 to volunteer or find a food bank near you. Together, we can ensure that no one goes hungry in Los Angeles County. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey there, Los Angeles. This is James Lucky Jr., publisher and editor of Los Angeles News Observer. Are you hungry for news that matters to you in the African-American communities of Los Angeles? Well, buckle up, because we got the scoop you've been craving. Stay in the know and never miss a beat with our free weekly publications conveniently available near you. Or hop on the digital wave and become an exclusive subscriber at OGNSC.com. Don't forget to join the party on Instagram and Twitter at OGNSCINC for behind-the-scenes access and sizzling updates. No more FOMO. Let's stay informed, connected, and empowered together.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk Radio that's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
How your son? He made the team this year? He say he wasn't tall enough.
All the glitter is not gold.
Nah, we gonna cook this Sunday.
Gold is not reality.
Come by.
Is what you live.
Hey, that's your new girlfriend?
This is family business, and this is for the family that can't be with us. And this is for my cousin locked down, oh, the answers in us. That's why I spit it in my song, so sweet like a photo where your granny's picture. Now that you're gone, it hit us super hard on Thanksgiving and Christmas. This can't be right. Yo, you heard the track I did, man. This can't be like. Somebody please say grace so I can save face and have a reason to cover my face.
Pleasure. What is pleasure? You have enjoyed, say for example, an evening sunset. Marvelous thing. A lovely color and all the rest of it. Then you wanted to repeat it the next day because you had a great delight in that. The repetition of it is brought about by thought. The thinking that you had a pleasure yesterday and you want to repeat it again tomorrow. And not being able to get that pleasure tomorrow, you feel frustrated, you feel angry, you feel afraid. So thought is responsible for both the continuance of pleasure and the sustaining of fear.
Oh, Lord. Hey, man. We have renamed good brother, we're going to call him Papa Murty. We've renamed him. He's not Krishna Murty anymore. He's Krishna Hurty. Not Krishna Murty. Krishna Hurty. Because he going to hurt you with the truth. Right? Thought, and he's talking about psychological thought, is the sustainer of pleasure and pain. And they beget each other because of this endless cycle. You can't see anything without the filter of what you've been through. So, when you're looking at something and it represents a type of freedom you've never had, you've never worked for, you didn't know existed, right? You reject it because it's not a part of your norm. Now, if your norm so happens to be toxic, anything that is healed seems predatory. Peace as a predator. Why the unhealed nervous system experiences love as a threat. Your psychological polyvagal theory. This is your psychological insight. Stephen Porges explains how love can activate a threat response in trauma survivors whose window of tolerance has been shaped by hypervigilance. The philosophy Kierkegaard, the philosophical insight. Kierkegaard's notion of dread as the fear of possibility applies here. Love becomes a terrifying unknown that destabilizes the ego's need for control. And then your spiritual and metaphysical insight. Dr. David R. Hawking's map of consciousness suggests that peace vibrates higher than the egoic mind can safely integrate without spiritual readiness. Sometimes that person pushes you away, not because they don't like you or they don't care about you or you're not the one. It's because you're the one that will undo them. You're the one that will unravel the Maya of their mask. Maya is the Sanskrit term which means illusion. You're the one that will tear down all of the coping mechanisms and scaffolding, that psychological scaffolding that they built up to constantly manipulate and protect because they're always in survival mode. You will ask the questions they know exist but refuse to utter. Sometimes the breakup is necessary for their survival. Sure, they'll find someone else who will capitulate to the demands of their wounds. Sure, their attractiveness for now will always lure in those who are also broken, who need validation by even having someone like them. Do you see? We've got one of my favorite callers on the line. You already know what it is. We're going down to Mississippi. You already know what it is. Nikki from the SIP. I am ready for this food for thought. Please enlighten me, sister.
So in the fam.
Hey.
Oh, this is a good.
Oh, this is good. You like this one, huh?
Well, it speaks to a place I think we all can relate to. Remember when you were a kid and you first got to go to the county or your state fair?
Uh-huh.
And there is all this hype about the ride.
Mm-hmm.
So when the weekend finally comes and you get to go, and it's your first time, and you get there, and there's a sign on the one ride you want to ride, and it says, you have to be this big to ride this ride.
You got to be this tall in order to get on. Yeah.
Now, somebody tell me about that. I got to be this big to ride this ride.
Mm-hmm.
So now my fair experience has been daunted because I'm not tall enough.
Mm-hmm.
When I go back home to tell Big Mama, when she asked me, because I got to stay up late, how was it? I was in tears because I was heartbroken because I didn't get to ride the ride. She said, now, baby, all you got to do between now and next year this time is grow.
That's it. Come on.
Same thing. This thing that we run from requires us to do exactly what she said. Grow. Black Ron talked about it last week when he was talking about you might encounter a man or a woman who may be a little bit too expensive for you at this time.
Hey, come on.
Not necessarily monetarily, but maybe including monetarily. Same principle. Now, baby, all you got to do is grow. Now, me being a precocious child, that begs the question, well, how do I do that?
Come on.
Well, I didn't know it, but it's a recipe involved. This is why Big Mama is so important. Well, you're going to have to be sprinkled with some love to grow.
Wow. That's right.
It won't work without that. You got to have some miracle grow from somewhere to grow. Now, when I was a kid, they hadn't made sticks yet. It was all liquid. Had to mix it with water. Couldn't put too much, plant gonna die. Couldn't put too little, plant no grow. Had to be just right. Same thing. When you are required to grow, that reflection in that other person that's pressing you to do that, it can't be too much because you're going to run from it. When a man meets a woman that he is uncontrollably comfortable with, his first instinct is to dip.
I'm too comfortable with her. Hold on. What's happening here?
Oh,
hey, wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Whoa.
I don't want to be with my boys. I want to be with her. And then I'm telling her all kind of stuff I ain't supposed to tell her.
Oh, I'm talking all willy-nilly, pillow talking.
Why is she making me do that?
Lord have mercy. Let me get up out of here. I done did too much.
Now, baby, all you got to do is grow.
Ooh.
See, it makes you expand, and sometimes for a not secure person, that can be very overwhelming because for me, sometimes it's like Christ. I can't get big enough to take him in. My physical limitations can't expand enough for what's happening in the spirit place. Same kind of thing. So it's not inherently that they don't want you. Actually, they do. But they're trying to grow.
They
enough.
not big enough. Ooh.
They're not big enough to ride this ride.
You got to go home and then wait a little while and grow over the summer and then come
on back again. You know, they call that thing in Hollywood step and repeat.
Ooh, Lord.
Okay? Just a different perspective, but it's applicable, I think.
I think so, too. I love that. You at the fairgrounds one summer too soon. Wait. Nikki, you breaking up just a little bit. What did you just say? It's
just a smidgen too soon. You got to get that formula for that Miracle Grow right, though.
Yes, got to get that formula for Miracle Grow right. Nikki, you know I love you, Nikki. Come on, Nikki. Just tell us right now, what did you just do, child?
I brought the sip in the building. I still love everybody.
We love you too. Mississippi is in the building. Hey, man, when we come back, or when we come forward, I should say, Nikki deserves a praise break. When we come forward, the praise break celebrations shall commence.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
During this time, it's important for everyone to know your rights. The 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendments in the U.S. Constitution protects every one of us, regardless of immigration status. The 4th Amendment requires a judicial warrant to search your home. The 5th protects your right to remain silent, and the 6th gives you the right to an attorney. Just remember,
no warrant, no key, privacy. You don't have to speak. No lawyer inside. Don't say a thing. Yeah, we all got rights.
Hey, we all got rights.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Founded in Los Angeles in 1986, litigation powerhouse Quinn Emanuel has deep roots in the Los Angeles community. Since 2007, we have litigated some of the largest fires on the West Coast. We are proud to be the only AmLaw 100 firm in the country to represent wildfire victims, giving affected individuals, families, and businesses the same focus and individualized attention we devote to our Fortune 500 clients. BTI Consulting has repeatedly recognized Quinn Emanuel as among the 4 law firms in-house counsel least like to oppose in any litigation, and we are often deemed the most feared. And after securing over $80 billion for our clients in various matters firm-wide, we understand why. If you have been affected by the recent wildfires in Altadena and the Palisades and would like to discuss your situation further, please contact wildfire support at QuinnEmanuel.com or call us at 213-443-3050. Quinn Emanuel is proud to sponsor Conversation Live Altadena Rising with James Farr on KBLA Talk 1580.
Attorney advertising. Prior results do not guarantee future outcomes.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project. Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
The California Crusader newspaper would like to thank all of our subscribers for their support throughout the years, proudly serving the South Los Angeles and South Bay areas for more than 40 years. The California Crusader is a multicultural, Black-owned, adjudicated newspaper that focuses on providing newsworthy information to the people in our community. We're constantly looking for ways to assist businesses in our community to connect with our subscribers. We provide low-cost, effective ways to promote your business with our reasonable and affordable advertising rates. You can participate by suggesting, sharing, and submitting your stories on the California Crusader newspaper Community Share Facebook group page, or visit our website at cal-cruise-news.com. That's calcruisenews.com. Then click on the Submit Now button located on the top right corner of the homepage, or text CCN to 42828. Again, text CCN to 42828. The California Crusader newspaper, working together to build a better community for our future. Subscribe today.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I know that my Savior lives, and at the end, he will stand on this earth. My flesh may be destroyed, yet from this body, I will see God. Yes, I will see him for myself, and I long for that moment. Grandma, I really miss you, and it ain't been the same. I drop a tear when I hear your name. Mariella Holloway, why you gotta be so far away? Used to say, don't worry, it's gonna be okay. But it ain't, it's like when you left, you took the Lord with you. Why couldn't I come when he came to get you? Damn, I really miss you. I had to say it again. I remember the time when I was like 10. Crept up in the neighbor's yard, yeah, being hard-headed. You told me I would get it, you said it. Boy, did I get it. But after you spanked me, you hugged me, kissed me on my forehead, told me that you loved me. And I saw that it hurt you more than it hurt me. I thought, how bad could this hurt be? I know now, that's why it's only done out of love. What I wouldn't give for one more hug from Grandma.
Baby, it's gonna be okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, the family anthems are playing because that's where a lot of our patterns come from. Sheesh. And listen, all of our parents, I believe, for the most part, tried their best, did their best with the level of consciousness that they were at. That was one of the ways I was able to love my mother even deeper, where some of my siblings struggled. They struggled because they had expectations, and rightfully so. I expect you to be like this. I expect you to be like this, Mom. Mom, you should do this. Mother's supposed to do this. And then once I realized her story and I understood where she came from and what she endured and what she survived and how she was traumatically wounded and broken by men, and including my father, right? I then had to say, man, y'all got to let Mom off the hook for this. And from that moment on, I just started appreciating my mother for the tremendous work that she was able to do. She was like the Kobe Bryant of mamas, meaning Kobe Bryant wasn't the tallest, wasn't the fastest, wasn't the most athletic, but as Gilbert Arenas said, he took his average body, which is a S500, and drove it like it was a Bugatti. Man, the prayer that my mother was invested in. Man, I haven't been prayed for like that since she was here. She left 16 years ago, 2009. My mother spent 12 hours a day trying to pray away the broken patterns that she helped co-create. And some people would say, oh, well, she wasted time. But I am a believer in prayer, right? I'm not saying that psychology doesn't work. I'm not saying that spirituality doesn't work, but let me just say, I am a believer in prayer. And I believe that her prayers navigated me to the seat that I am sitting in today. I had to reprimand my older siblings. I had to tell them, like, yes, I understand why you had expectations of her. But if you understood her journey and her story and how she was able to get 6 kids out of the projects and over to the West Coast, where her grandmother was, where her brothers and sisters were, right? Do you understand what I'm saying? She was able to get us out of one of the most ratchet and run-down projects in America. It's no longer in Chattanooga. It was called Alton Park. It was a mess. I remember 2006 when my niece got married to her husband, and they decided, hey, we got too much family in Chattanooga. He from Virginia. Y'all got to get married in Chattanooga. And we all went to Chattanooga. I had my son, Nuriel, and my daughter, Prima. And their mother. We all went, man. We went to Chattanooga. But that was the first time I had been back since 79. And what stood there, have you ever been to a place that felt like it had a spirit? That place had a spirit. And I had been there, let me just say, I had been there, actually, I was there one other time before 2006. Because I went to go visit my foster parents a month before they died. Right? I went to go see my foster parents, who hadn't at that time seen me since 79. I think it was 94. And my foster father drove me past the projects. The projects were still there. I felt the spirit on that place. And he drove me past, the apartment that we stayed in, and it was burnt out. It was gutted. It was burnt by a fire. And I just remember getting out of the car and sitting on the porch, man. Our early upbringings, man, shape and mold how we show up in intimate relationships. And if we don't heal, these relationships are subject to be mere reenactments, but not merely just a reenactment for reenactment's sake. A reenactment so you can recognize the pattern that needs to be broken. Listen, man, y'all know what I do. I start these conversations not to be right, not to come across as somebody who knows everything. I can give a damn about that. I do this show so I can continue to heal. And maybe there's a word out there that might help somebody, that might, you know what I'm saying, trigger something in someone. We got to ask different questions, and they must be difficult. And we have to go through the arduous process of answering them for ourselves. Listen, man. I'm Zoe Williams, the VOR. If you think Monday's topic was crazy, wait till tomorrow. I got another slapper. Deuces.
But see, and I agree. See, we don't need. You would have been much more than a mouth to feed. But someone, I would have fed this information I read to someone. My life for you, I would have had to lead. Instead, I led you to death. Sorry for taking your first breath, first step, and first cry. But I wasn't prepared mentally nor financially. Having a child shouldn't have to bring out the man in me. Plus, I wanted you to be raised within a family. I don't wanna go through the drama of having a baby's mama. Weekend visits and buying J's ain't gonna make me a father. For a while, burying a child is something I never wanted to do. For me to live forever, I can only do that through you. Nerve, I got to talk about the